Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Glad you could attend this webinar that we put together for you guys titled How to Level Up as a Digital Nomad and Strategies for Leveling Up Your Lifestyle While on the Road. I'm your host, Olayinka Patrick Iwumi, and with me is my co host and CEO. And I'll let him introduce himself to you guys, and he'll share a little bit about us, who we are as a company and our mission, our vision, and kind of give you a little insider on like how we started. So with further ado, I'll hand it off to him so he could get us started.
All right, thanks a lot, Pat. Yeah, like you said, I'm Kevin Maturi. I'm the founder of Nomad Shifu here. And who are we? Well, Nomad Shifu, let's start with the name. Shifu means guide or teacher in Cantonese. So we're here to guide nomads in how to live this lifestyle their best. Live your best life as a nomad. And we're using the latest technology and developing tools to help you as a digital nomad find the best place where that suits you. And then once you get there, allowing you to thrive by connecting you to vital local information and services so you can navigate your way easily no matter where you go. I've spent since 2018 being a nomad. So I, as a developer by trade, was very keen on trying to give back to this community and figure out ways to help people travel the world because I love doing it. I want to help more people do it and help people do it better. So we are currently in our beta, and we're inviting new users to come and help us create this app for digital nomads. So definitely take the opportunity to come to our website and sign up for our beta and give us some feedback and let us know what features you would like to see, what are the problems you're running into, or things that you might need to start this journey if you haven't become a nomad already. So let's continue. So what are we covering, Pat?
Yeah, so we got some awesome topics today for you guys, and I'm really excited because as we were putting this together, doing the research, I learned a whole bunch of things, and tips and tricks. And I know after this presentation that we have for you guys will as well. We have topics like staying connected, overcoming internet connection challenges, to global office insights, best practices for working abroad and embracing the novelty experiences, to, my favorite one, and Kevin's going to cover this one, using credit cards and utilizing points to upscale your travel. So let's get started, guys.
Okay,
So,
without further ado, here on staying connected is the first topic. Um, so we know this as a digital nomad, you got to have the good Wi-Fi. To be a digital nomad, you have to be able to work from where you're at. That was a revolutionary idea that we found out that hey, if you have a remote job, you can keep on making money as you travel and potentially travel perpetually. And I remember when I started, that was definitely the goal and dream, and that's what I've been doing pretty much since 2018. I have not really been back. Um, so as a nomad, you gotta pick the right country first and foremost. There's just some countries that is just not going to be suitable for this. I've been in some countries and places where I've landed and found out, okay, I really messed up. I can barely connect, and I'm pissing off my coworkers and my bosses. So first of all, pick the right country. These are the basics. Let's talk about the basics real quick. Get you a portable Wi-Fi that can help you out in those difficult situations where you need to connect multiple devices. It can help you in a pinch where the Wi-Fi is poor, but the mobile network is still strong. This would be the case in many African countries. eSIMs are definitely useful when you are going to be hitting multiple countries. I remember I did a Latin American tour last year and hit a number of different countries, and this definitely helped me out here. Airlo, the service I would recommend you guys, big champ. It has a 10 gigabyte, 6 month long plan. Sure, it's a little pricey at 59, but it does last 6 months, and you would basically have regional coverage. So every time you land, you'll be back on the internet pretty much as soon as it connects to the local tower. So I think it supports over 100 countries. So that's definitely a pro tip. Now for the real sauce, VPNs. That's what we all want to know about. Nomads have to be VPN experts. Now, the simple benefits of VPNs, we know this. You want to be able to watch your geolock shows on the road, access websites that are only available back home. Sure. But many people are asking us about VPNs when they reach out, more so to figure out how can they work and not raise alarms. Maybe you don't want to have the conversation if you haven't had the conversation with your boss if they want you traveling or not, and you just don't even want to have that conversation. So let's run down your options, right? If you use a common shared IP VPN, this is all the ads that you see on YouTube, ExpressVPN, Get NordVPN, all those guys. This is gonna work okay. It helps you get your regular shows. But the downside is they're so public that their shared IPs they get blocked all the time. And possibly if your employer is a stickler about this, they're gonna have that on their blacklist, and they're gonna know you're using a VPN, and it just may not work to access your company's resources or still get you flagged. So if your company's strict, they might be still blacklisting these. And also, they could be slow. So if performance is a big issue for you in whatever you're doing, understand you're sharing these IPs with other people, right? And so those are the downsides to it. So leveling up from that is you get a dedicated static IP. Now you can get it from a lot of these same, resources like NordVPN and Express. They might have static IP options, and they're a little bit more expensive. Still easy to use, but they basically assign you your own IP address, but the underlying hardware is going to be the same. So that's going to afford you the benefit of not having an IP that's likely to have been blacklisted, or somebody used that IP for some bad things and got you blacklisted in other places like a regular VPN. But you are still sharing the underlying hardware with all the people who are using the same VPN service. So things can be slow. So this can help you with your company. You could get them to whitelist it, make it look like, hey, this is always you. And you won't have to deal with those annoying, when you go to a new place and now suddenly you have to log in and do your two-factor authentications everywhere because they think you're a new person suddenly. So that dedicated static IP VPN solution helps out with that. Now, how do we fix the slow, the issue where things are slow? You get that hardware VPN. A lot of people jump to the hardware VPN immediately. I've been seeing that's the solve all these days. I don't think you necessarily need a hardware VPN right away. But if your company is like super duper strict, you work with some like data security company, and they got to whitelist your home address, or they've given you a special VPN to use that you have to connect through, then this is where you have to set up your hardware VPN. And this is where you get a server at home and then a VPN client you have to carry around with you. It's going to be a little harder to set up, but these are the big guns. it should be your solve all, but there's definitely other ways, they might still figure out where you're at. So it won't help you in all the situations, but maybe like 80%. If your company really, really wants to figure out, there's ways it can still figure out that you're traveling. So if they figure out you're traveling, you're going to get fired. Maybe you want to just have the talk with them. So the setup is a bit more technical, but it does afford you all the benefits of a static IP VPN. But because you set it up, to go through your own hardware and your server at home, then you're going to have much better performance as well. So VPNs are a huge topic. I think we want to cover this maybe in depth, Pat, later. But you know what? Everybody who's watching this right now, maybe put in the comments if you are in the chat right now. Put in the comments if you want to see something breaking down VPNs, options, maybe even how to set them up. And because I've seen this is a big topic that a lot of people are talking about, we could go back and cover it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, let us know. Put it in the comments on, in the comment section. So without further ado, back to you, Pat. There's a couple of these other options I had never heard about. What are those on here?
Yeah. So there's a saying, guys, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Kevin just gave you the breakdown with the VPN. A lot of information there, and I did some additional research, and I'm gonna give you, as they say, the icing on top, because these solutions you could definitely explore, and they could definitely help you out. Starting with your SIM card aggregators here. The reason why this tool is so cool is because it allows you to use multiple SIM cards at once, which will enable you to connect to a stronger network that's available. A good one to explore here is Localme. I read a lot of good reviews online, guys, so please check it out. Next, we do have your VPNs with compressions. Um, so this is a feature that most VPNs do have, but they don't advertise it. So when you're doing your research and exploring different options, you could always call that provider and see if they do have this feature, because it's a great option to explore. Um, so definitely look into that. A good solution is CyberGhost. Definitely check CyberGhost out. Um, and then next on the list, we have our network bounding solutions. What's cool about this is that it combines your internet and your Wi-Fi. So like your data and your Wi-Fi giving you a faster speed and a more reliable connection. I saw that Speedify is a great option. Um, there are a lot of other ones online, but Speedify had some good reviews, so definitely check Speedify out. And lastly, you have your mobile data boosters. So with these could amplify your cellular signal, making sure you have better internet connections, even in areas that have a weak signal cellular coverage. So definitely check these out, guys. I'm super pumped to also check these out myself. And leave your comment on our socials, and we would love to hear your feedback on some of these
Yeah,
options.
we'll have to. I think we're gonna maybe review some of these on our website, and break down, because I'm wondering how well these work. Like something like combining multiple internet resources. I'm wondering how that works technically to give you better performance. If it's like just switching when one is low, or if it
Right.
can bring them together. We'll look into that for you guys and put up
We
some
have a deeper dive.
articles, and yeah, put some numbers behind it, and yeah, give you a breakdown. That's what we're here for. Help you guys out. So
Sure. Yes, sir.
all right,
So
moving money smartly.
moving money smartly. So guys, this is a great one, guys. I don't know, have you guys ever been in a situation where, you just came back home from a trip, you look at your bank account and then you see 100 of international transaction fees. Well, usually the case is that these are conversion fees. So looking into options like Wise and Revolut could definitely help you avoid some of these conversion fees. And the great thing about Wise is it allows you to have multiple bank accounts in different currencies, right? And I believe they support up to 13 different currencies. So it's a great way to receive and send money. For example, let's say you're traveling with a buddy that lives in Asia, and then you guys are taking a Europe trip. After the trip, there's you guys racked up a bill. He's going back to his respective country. You know, um, Using like a solution like Wise and Revolut could just help facilitate the bill and so definitely check that out. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, it's great. It also works as a money transfer service, so you can do cash pickup. Also, it comes with a debit card, where you could withdraw monies from the ATM, but of course, there'll still be, fees associated with that. So, Kev, I know you wanted to touch on that?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I've never used these services too much because I typically just use credit cards for everything when I travel. More on that later. But one perk that's got me interested that I wanted to point out is that uh, I see that Wise actually, and maybe even Revolut, actually connects you with local money transfer apps. So, like if you're in Colombia, I think Neki is a big one. I think they have a few other ones, but I saw like Wise in particular will help you. Like if your Colombian friend needs you to send them money through Neki, you can do that. You can do that easily through your Wise account. So that's super useful because I ran into that a few times when I needed to give somebody some money and I didn't have cash or was just inconvenient right at that moment, and it would have been nice to just be able to send them, a transfer like we do in the U.S. Using like Cash App or uh, what was the other one people use? Venmo. So that's
Venmo.
cool. And all my Africans, all my Kenyan people specifically, M-Pesa is supported as well. We were just in Africa last year, and we found how much in Kenya is a digital economy now. So they're not big on cash. So having access to, if you don't want to set up M-Pesa, sometimes it's annoying to do that stuff when you're in a new country. So the fact that Wise can do that is awesome. Um, so yeah, as Pat mentioned, these services do give you a debit card, which is loaded with foreign currencies that can help you save on conversion fees, but you still will get charged some ATM fees when you use them. So which is why I recommend a brokerage card. If you really want to avoid the ATM fees. So the brokerage card, those are things like your Fidelities, your Charles Schwab. I've been losing money on brokerage accounts for a long time here. So I was very delighted to find out there's a way I could finally win because I suck at picking stocks. There's a way I could finally put these accounts to some positive use for me, instead of just disappointment by using them for travel. So when I was so surprised after, I think I learned this like in 2021 when my friends exposed me to the idea in Colombia, and I was like, "What?" I was so shocked. These guys will actually, you can negate the whole ATM fee, um, and they will actually, what happens is they will refund you. So you'll get charged initially, then they'll just give it back to you, and of course they will make sure they choose the best conversion rate when you're converting to the local currency. By the way, don't accept those damn ATM conversions on the screen if that happens in the country you are. In Colombia, it's rampant with that. So don't do that. This is a big scam. You don't need to accept it, as I thought I did, but luckily my friend was there the first time I saw those, and he set me straight, so I never had to have that issue. But I've met a few people who've been doing that for years, and it blew their mind when they found out you actually don't need to accept those conversions. Always let your bank do it, and always pay in the local currency. You'll always get the better conversion rate when you do that.
Well said. Very, very true. Very, very true. So now moving on to logistics coordination and strategies to finding cheaper flights. So guys, when it comes to finding good flights, this is usually contingent on two things here. And we have your location-based pricing and using flights aggregators. I'll have Kevin touch on that. So anything like your Google Flights, um, Kevin's going to go into detail on that. But really, guys, what it comes down to is understanding the factors that's involved here. And so usually what happens is these airline companies, right, will have various methods um, in showing you certain price points for flights, right? So meaning, right, another person in a developing country, right, could see the same kind of ticket that you're seeing, right, but at a lower price point. Um, and so the way they're doing this is through your IP address, right? Through cookies. They do mobile tracking, accessing your GPS to find your exact location, and to show you, those certain prices. There's also a geolocation feature in modern browsers that track your location as well. And they're also tracking your location through your Wi-Fi connection. So some things you could do is one, you clear your browsing data through your cookies, right? Or you could use incognito mode, choose a reliable VPN, then set up your VPN location in that developing country or in the destination that you're flying to, right? Then compare prices essentially. You kind of repeat this process until you find the right flight for you that's within your budget. Um, it's not a method that's a guarantee, but it can work. So give it a shot. Give us some feedback. Tell us what you think. Um, but yeah, definitely look into that.
Yeah, I've never gotten this to work for me before because I'd heard about it and then I tried to use the VPN and I was still seeing the same prices. But I didn't know, it might be, they go deeper with the cookies and all that stuff. And so I'll have to try this out. I'll have to definitely try this out. And this would be for the VPN talk earlier to be a situation where you need that regular VPN. This is, your static IPs and your home one will not help you with this. So you need that regular good VPN. Personally, I use Windscribe. I've always found that's really good and they have a really generous free offer. So check that out. Let's talk about the tried and true method, which is using Google Flights. If you don't know Google Flights, I'm assuming most experienced travelers know that Google Flights is probably the best option for finding your cheap flights. Even maybe Skyscanner as well. Maybe people use Skip Lag if you're not going to be grabbing luggage. But when it comes to Google Flights, I'm definitely vet in that. The way you want to do it, if you're really out to get the cheapest flights, is to kind of build your own route by using the Google Explore feature. So you would go to Google, you would put in your origin, but don't put in a destination. And then it'll take you to a view that shows it shows you the prices to fly to different airports from your selected origin. So you'll see this Explore tab here, and the idea is actually to choose a flight to a hub that has cheaper tickets to your real destination. For example, I have a lot of family in Minnesota, so when I'm trying to get to Columbia from Minnesota, I'll usually use that Explore tab and see what are the tickets actually from somewhere like Houston or Miami or Atlanta. If I could find cheap tickets to one of the places in Colombia, maybe Bogota or Medellin, maybe even Barranquilla sometimes, then I'll choose I'll choose a ticket from those larger hubs. Then I'll see how I can get to Miami from, say, like a Miami from Minnesota. And usually I find that it's much cheaper that way than to just try to rely on, you know, some airline to put a whole route together for me. Usually it seems like I found ways to actually shave off hundreds of dollars at a time this way. Although you might have to deal with the longer layovers, you may have to deal with too short layovers. If it's too short, don't trust it. Don't do anything lower than 2 hours. Even 2 hours is 3 hours is a sweet spot. 3 hour layover is a go. But for us, you know, we're digital nomads. It's okay to take the scenic route. Sometimes I just set it up so I could visit a city I haven't been to before, then I can go on my merry way. You know, have a long layover, check out the city, enjoy myself, then come back to the airport and go on my merry way. So that is definitely a way I would recommend to you guys. And yeah, let's move on to the next one. I think working abroad here. Okay, so these are tips for people who are 100% in this lifestyle. So you are, like me, committed to leaving the country for good. And I'll tell you from the perspective of somebody from the US. I haven't lived in the US for, you know, more than, you know, most of the year since like 2019. So, um, what you have to think about here is how your taxes come out. So after you cross this Rubicon, it's all about the 180 days. So that's why a lot of countries, you know, 6 months is the limit. That's about 180 days. And you might wonder, you know, and we're talking about taxes here. So they're going to start taxing you after those 6 months are up. And you might wonder, well, how do they know how much you make? Well, if you're going to stay in a country more than 6 months and you don't plan on being an illegal immigrant, um, they're going to basically use your visa application as a way to determine how much they should tax you, because you're going to tell them no country is going to give you an extended visa without you telling them that you're employed and you have money coming in, etc. So you have to be cognizant of this. And if you're a US citizen, you have to know that you're going to get taxed wherever you are in the world. So you're going to have to start getting familiar with things like the foreign tax credit and the FEIE, which is a foreign earned income exclusion. That's the one I use. And that is definitely great game here, because if you are committed to a long-term global experience here, just living abroad, you can end up saving up to $120,000, I think, this last tax year, off of your taxes. So almost you won't pay anything if you aren't, you know, making crazy money. But if you're coming in kind of around that less than $200,000 a year earning, then you almost won't have any tax bill. I don't think I did last year. So that is definitely a great tip. So we'll probably go into depth here. There's a lot to understand about how to make sure you actually are qualified for these things, and how to make sure you look more qualified, like getting residencies. But of course, getting residencies means that you're giving them your information about what you make. So the important thing is to choose the right country to get the residency in. Now, these countries in red here are known to not tax your foreign earned income. So anything that you earn outside, like me, I'm a Panamanian resident. Anything I earn outside of Panama does not get taxed by Panama. So that's game. So we will definitely be looking at covering this in depth, maybe bringing on some experts when it comes to the FEIE and the foreign tax credit, so that you can avoid getting taxed twice and you can save on your tax bill in the long run here. So look out for that webinar. All right. Okay, let's get into it. Finally, credit cards. As a digital nomad, you're going to absolutely need to know how to get into the credit card game. If you have bad credit, cut it out. You need to clean that up. We're adults now. We need to be having good credit. Do whatever it takes, man. And once you have good credit, life is so much better. And if you have no credit, hit me up for some starter cards and I'll hook you up. If you have good credit, hit me up for some advanced cards. Let's get in the travel game. I could give you some offers. We'll pass. I'll hook you up. You can hook me up. We'll spread around the wealth. As I said earlier, I pay for everything in general with credit cards, but especially when I'm traveling overseas. This is such a huge opportunity for digital nomads because we're usually spending more time overseas, and a lot of these credit card companies are not really like they're not thinking about the digital nomad, right? They don't expect people to be out here just living their life overseas for like 3 months, 6 months at a time, like we do. So you can just live your normal life, pay with your credit card, and find out like, oh wow, you're getting a 5 times multiplier because almost everything you do is a foreign transaction. And that foreign transaction, a lot of these cards will actually give you multipliers for spending abroad. So that is a huge opportunity to just rack up points in those 5x categories for many of these cards by just spending normally. And not to mention, there's a lot of opportunities for manufactured spending opportunities. Like maybe you're like me, you're an entrepreneur and you have employees. Sometimes you got to have that employee trip to go, do some work in a different country. Like Nomad Shifu, we're always traveling, so put everybody's flights on the company card, and it's a travel card, and I'm racking up the points, right? And not to mention, when you have your group trips, right? You can say, hey guys, I'll cover it. You guys get to just send me the Venmo me, Cash at me. I'll let you know what it is. I'll send you your ticket. It'll be too complicated. Everybody, I'll find the best thing because I'm the expert about finding great flights, and I'll hook everybody up. Now you're racking up all these points for free because they'll pay you back. Also there's the dinner opportunity, splitting up, the bill at dinner. Just let them let them send you the money through TransferWise or something. You have that international crowd, and then you can just put it on your card. So the manufactured spending opportunities, that's what you call it, are just so many when you're traveling abroad. And digital nomads are just in a great position to run the credit card rewards game. We just get so many benefits, hotel stays, flight upgrades. I've been upgraded on a flight a couple of times. Always a great feeling. Discount offers, concierge. I didn't know there was concierge with these cards, but all these cards you see here, the Venture X is great. The Chase Sapphire Reserve. All of these things have actual concierge. So if you're in a pinch, you need some help, hit up that concierge number. And two resources I've been big on, and this is some game here. I know a lot of you like, oh, this is cookie cutter. We know this already. All you experienced nomads, but I bet you don't know these tools to help you maximize your credit card usage and know all about your benefits. The Max Rewards app. Check out maxrewards.com, I believe. This is an app that will track your points and help you see where to spend. Like if you're near a certain place, if you're going to go to have dinner or something, it'll let you know, hey, this is a 3 times multiplier. This is a 5 times multiplier for this card. So this would be your best card to use. And it lets you know which benefits, which discounts are available. Because sometimes you get these new discounts and offers coming in all the time that you might not be aware of and you just let go, right? So as these things come up, Max Rewards is just tracking all of this for you. It's just a great app, and it's definitely a great tool once you get in this game. And then I also say Roam.travel. That's ROAME.travel. This is an aggregate flight search engine. that will allow you to search flights like Google Flights. But now, instead of showing you the dollar amount, it's going to show you how much points you need and also help you understand how you can transfer the points between your different cards that you're racking up here to get the most bang for your buck when it comes to hotels and flights. So, this is definitely how you get that business class ticket that will cost you hundreds of dollars in points, uh, but not thousands of dollars in dollars. So that is just great game here, and we'll probably also be breaking this down further in the future so we can maximize it. We could talk about this. Is just a great topic. I love saving money here. I love all the perks that come along with it. So I want to pass that on to you guys. Yeah. All right, Pat. We're wrapping it up here.
We're almost wrapping it up, but not really. Thank you for breaking down the points and the credit cards. There's a lot of benefits here. I know I was doing some research. I think my next card is definitely going to be that Sapphire. They do have like a 60K bonus sign up fee. So yeah, guys, definitely check out that card. Um,
Yes, sir.
so moving on to things to look forward from us. As Kevin mentioned, right now we're working on a beta that includes a whole bunch of features to support the digital nomad community, from our AI concierge feature, to our comprehensive plan a trip feature. Um, so we really thought about you guys. We are digital nomads ourselves, so we understand the challenges that you guys go through, and that's why we started this, right? And also look out for some of our webinars. We'll be doing healthcare access for nomads here. Kevin also mentioned that we're going to be doing a deeper dive into the FEIE tax break. So we'll be bringing on a tax professional. So bring your questions. There's a lot to learn on that topic as well. And also, doing another deeper dive on the credit card game, and definitely utilizing those points to upscale your travel. That's a big one. Like I said, look into that Sapphire. Um, and also, would love to hear from you guys, right? If there's any topics that you guys would want us to go in depth on, please just drop a comment in the chat there. Or you could just hit us up on our socials and at our email at info at nomadshifu.com here. Um, Speaking of, we also have additional resources for you guys to check out. Check out Nomad Toolbox. They have a whole bunch of resources from communities to job boards, to different booking sites. So also look out for MDE community app if you're out in Medellin. It's definitely a good platform if you're looking for events in different communities. Um, that's the way to go. So you know, now I'll open the floor up for any questions that you guys might have for us. Um, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.